So I had to wake up, you know. I have to get shelter. The holy name is such shelter. So this is such a good time, a good period, Kartik, and it's laced with auspiciousness. And in this month, we get wonderful things. We get the lifting of Govardhan Hill. We get Diwali, and naturally, we get that wonderful experience of having a whole month of Damodar. And it's interesting because even so many things that we hear it being appreciated and experienced by high devotees, pure devotees. But I'm here as the testament, with the devotees way down there, that Krishna consciousness is so wonderful. This time is so auspicious that everyone gets to taste. All we have to do is adhere to the process of Krishna consciousness. We have our regular service, of hearing and chanting, whatever our sadhana is. During this particular time, we do the same thing, except maybe we rise a little earlier so that we can, chant, Mangalarchik prayers and we worship Tulsi and we do a little savor, we make a little offering. The only difference is when we do it this time, let's just add a little extra devotion, a little consciousness. Prabhupada Prabhupada said that this is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And in the simplest way, it means that we're aware. We're conscious, we're just aware of who we're trying to know, serve, and love, which is Krishna. And when we do these simple things with a little awareness of Krishna, then it's a special time. So what happens is that we're opening up our heart. And each and every one of us, I do believe, is looking for love and affection. Sometimes we make the mistake of looking for love in all the wrong places. That's okay. That's called experience. As we keep going, we find out that love can be experienced, in the simple process of trying to serve Guru and Krishna. So I remember in my in our daily reading, we're reading the devotees, the demigods, and the demons. They're churning in the ocean, of nectar. And the demigods are getting ticked off with the demons, and they're ready to start a fight. And so Vishnu said, "Not now. It's not a good time. It's just not a good time." Indra had been cursed, for something he had done. I forget. And so Indra wasn't going to have all his opulences. And Sukracharya was their spiritual master. So the timing wasn't that good. He said, "This better you wait and at another time. Right now, better we be friends." So sometimes it's not always the best time to do things. And we have our lives. There's so many things that we do, and it's not always so favorable. But this is an excellent time. There's such an alignment. It's time. So during this time, if we try to take advantage of the very simple things, then we find out not only, Hare Krishna, Mother, not only is it a wonderful time, but we get such a reaction because it's very favorable. Just like that was a better time later was a better time for the demons and for the demigods to fight with the demons. So this is an auspicious time. And why? Because this time, in this month of Kartik, we really get to experience those childhood pastimes of Lord Krishna. And it's amazing because I remember one year, we do the same prayers every year and every day in and day out, we chant the same prayers. What? But because it's such a good time and it's so favorable, that we begin to open up. The Lord is opening us. He's making the arrangement for us. There's so many things going on in the, in the undercurrent. If I go further there, you know, just like when you come here, you came here today, there's so many things you could do, but you trusted that if I come, it may work out for me. I may have a good time, you know? So you had a little trust. And along with having that trust that things may work out, there's an undercurrent going on as well. And that undercurrent is that the Supreme Lord, He's also moving. See, that initial trust is our faith. And what did that faith do? It brought you here in this association. In this association, there's devotees of Krishna. And the devotees are always, Krishna stand within the hearts of the devotees. So the devotees are always trying to share Krishna. And as a very simple explanation is given in Bhagavad Gita, much chita matkita prana, bojan tak parashparam, katayan taschamam nityam, tu shanti cha romanti cha. Krishna says, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully surrendered into my service, and they derive great satisfaction and even bliss by always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So now you see the subtleties is that from having little trust and coming to associate here, you're going to get Krishna Katha. And Krishna Katha is so infectious. It's so sweet that Krishna even enjoys hearing it. He explains that in one of the purports in the CC. When we start talking about Krishna, Krishna likes it. He enjoys it. So these childhood pastimes of Krishna, okay. Namam Nishvaram Sachit Anandarupam Lasat Kandalam Gokule Rajamanam Jashoda Priyonukalat Davamanam Param Nistam Anyantato Trupya Gopya. You see him, that beautiful Krishna. I mean, look at that face. He's beautiful. We know Krishna is all attractive, but baby Krishna is beautiful. Those cheeks, everybody, those cheeks are so nice. And his luscious eyes. You got your own set, okay? He's got those beautiful eyes and that black curly hair. And so it just goes on. The beauty of Krishna. This is a time when we get to discuss the beauty of Krishna, the pastimes of Krishna. You know, when you have a family and someone comes to the family, well, they can be nice. But when mom starts breaking out the baby pictures, you know they're in. The baby pictures, this is real intimacy. Real intimacy. But we don't have baby pictures. We have the baby pastimes. We have, what did he do? What did he? And Krishna is so mischievous. Whew. I mean, you gotta love him. You know, he's doing all kinds of stuff. You wonder where the kids get it from. Get it from Krishna. You know, and this is the Supreme Lord. He's not exactly always telling the truth. You know, I'm gotta be careful. I've heard sometimes he's telling light lies, you know. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You know, he says he didn't do it. But that same beautiful Krishna, you know, when he starts his stealing of the butter, and when I see him climbing up, and he's not doing, I didn't do it, but he's got butter everywhere. You know, the yogurt is broken, and he's clever because he can hear Mother Jashoda, and she's been looking for him, and now Krishna's, uh-oh, she's coming, and there's Krishna. Those little legs, he's scooting, he's running, he's all over she's coming. Now those eyes, those big, beautiful eyes, they're still beautiful, but they change because they're welling up. He's fearful that he's going to get caught for the things that he's been doing naturally. And the closer she gets, he's really starting to shake. Do you see those eyes now? How is it that the Supreme Lord is afraid of Mother Yashoda, who is just so in love with him? She ran him down. She tracked him down. But, you can do a lot of things. But once you cross mommy, God can save from a lot of things. But when mommy's had it, that's it. Now, I got to put one prayer. There's so many things, but this translation that I always read the wrong translation at home. And just like the Shashastika prayers, I say the old prayers, sometimes mix them with the new prayers. But this old one translation, I'm just going to read for you. The first one, it says, to the Supreme Lord, whose form is, is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose sharp-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokul, who I, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Jashoda. But who has been caught from behind by her who ran faster than him with greater speed? To that Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. So, what a picture. And I like this translation. This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When you look deep, y'all are wrong. When you look really, let's cut it off. It's not that important. When you look really deep into those eyes, you can see Parthasarthi. There's the chariot driver Arjuna, Gopinath, the lover of the gopis. All the forms, that Supreme Lord, that you may have a relationship. Radha Shard Bihari, Krishna during the short season, It's all contained in that beautiful form of Krishna as Sri Damodar. And he's so beautiful in so many ways. Therefore, during this time of year, on a daily basis, we recite those pastimes. Got to cut it completely off. We recite those pastimes, and we discuss, what is it? What did he do? Why? Because we find such relish. The goal isn't for us to just enjoy the pastimes of Krishna, but Krishna's restaurants, he's full of taste. He's full of it. So we too are tasting the sweetness of Krishna's pastimes. So that's one aspect. But there's just so many wonderful things, so many wonderful benedictions that we're getting during this month of Kartik. As we reflect as I reflect too, on different pastimes, different verses with Krishna, I'm shocked that I really, really appreciate it and want to hear more and more. Krishna told Jonah throughout the Bhagavad Gita, Chakshvinu, just hear. All we have to do is hear. And as we hear about Krishna and undergo the process of Vaidhi Bhakti, everything begins to change. Because as we hear and perform the Sankirtan Yajna, as we continue to chant Krishna's name in glorification of Krishna, petitioning Radha and Krishna, please use me, please give me something to do. As we do that, then Cheto Dampan Marjanam Baba Mahadavagne Varpanam Shreya Kaivara Chandrika Vitiranam Vijayadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Pranamritas Bhadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. We wish all glories, there be all victory to the Sankirtan movement. Why? Because it's cleansing the mirror of the heart. It's putting out, it's stopping that blazing fire of material existence. That this is the benediction. We're looking for so many benedictions. This is the prime benediction for humanity at large. And it's just spreading out like that. Chanting Krishna's name. And real knowledge, real education, it accompanies the holy name. Where there is light, there can be no darkness. At night, we can say a lot of things. We can think we see a lot of things. But when the sun comes up, we see a thing just as it is. When the Krishna sun arises within our heart, then we see things from a different perspective. We hear things differently. So as we undergo these different pastimes, as we read the prayers, it begins to have an effect on us. We begin to relish. And we understand that I too want to become a servant of the servant of the servant. I remember one year I was in Vrindavan and Borijan Prabhu, who I love, he was reading from the Bhagavatam, these different pastimes. And I was thinking, and it came to one point, how the inhabitants of Raj, that these pastimes, these childhood pastimes of Krishna, they're drowning the inhabitants of Raj in pools of ecstasy. Why? We taste it too. As our life changed, I was thinking, I just like to hear it. Because this is the Supreme Lord. And it's so intimate. We get to see Krishna as a baby. We get to see Krishna in such a naughty attitude. But this is the same Supreme Lord. This is the same Krishna that we're asking to engage us in his service. So I feel like this time of year, we all have reflections as we go on engaging in our devotional practices, trying to appreciate, just appreciate, you know, the simplicity of Krishna consciousness. And sometimes it makes me appreciate the gift that we've been given from Srila Prabhupada. I mean, there is just no way I'm sitting here, in 2024 talking like this if it wasn't for the special mercy of Srila Prabhupada. I think for sure I would be in my next body, and God only Krishna knows what that kind of thing was going to be. It wasn't auspicious, I tell you. But this Sankirtan movement is amazing because we're just being given so much. I tell devotees oftentimes, in this realm, we don't become achievers. We become receivers. We just serve. We become grateful and we receive so much mercy. I just can't express how much we're receiving by being here. And this Sangha, this association, it's so nice. And so many of you, I was speaking with you, and you told me, you said, the parties, you said, Jai, Sribadra's place, you got to, she throws such good parties. It's going to be such a nice gathering. And I was thinking, good luck. I'm telling you, good luck. But it is true that what makes it so wonderful is that Krishna's devotees come and we get to hear and speak about Krishna. And we're taking advantage of such a wonderful time. So I don't usually take the time to bother people, to bore people, to stretch things out. You've come here to gather like this, and we can associate. And maybe at some point, you have reflections of your own you're going to share. But I'll tell you something, that we don't gamble. That's against regulated principles. But we do take a chance. We're always taking a chance. And when the winds are favorable, when the time is right, we give it our best. We put our full investment into the process. And then maybe the outcome becomes auspicious. So during this month of Damodar, I just suggest that don't do anything crazy. Don't make vows that you just cannot keep. I've already started that, and I'm going to keep the vow, I think. But you know, when the ice cream came out, it was vanilla. The vanilla ice cream came out after the Friday program, and they were bringing the ice cream, and then Case Repair said, "Hey, you're not supposed to be taking any ice cream. That's your vow." I said, "Did I make that vow?" I mean, because I've got two kids that come. So time these boys come, I tell them, I pay a deal with their mother. I said, listen, the parents up there, stop doing this. I said, leave them alone. I says, if you tick off mommy, I said, you can handle that. If mommy gets mad, you're not going to get any ice cream. So you got to stop. Remember, we're having ice cream. Go jump on the bed. Don't do anything you want upstairs. But don't get your ice cream rations cut off. And they calm down because they know that they're going to have ice cream and they can do whatever they want. But I'm no different than those kids. I'm just in an old man's body. I'm thinking. So when the ice cream came, I said, take it away. I said, did I really say that? So I didn't have the ice cream. So I don't want you to make any vows that you can't keep. Make simple vows. Say every day, I'm just going to chant my rounds as nicely as I possibly can. And when I chant those rounds, I'm going to remember just how bad my job can be sometimes. And I'm going to ask Krishna to forgive me. I'm going to ask Radharani, please help me. There's another nice prayer. For so long, I've abandoned you in this material world, but today, I want to be your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service. So we're going to ask like that during this time. We're going to open that. We're going to pry that door to our heart open just a little bit, because when Krishna sees that we try too, I mean, it's so much going on. I told you the undercurrent, the unseen that's going on at this time of year is just amazing. We get so many benedictions. So that's the fun thing. We're going to chant. We can try to chant better. We're going to try to hear the name and stay awake. Do the best we can. We're going to try to hear Srimad Bhagavatam or something, nectar devotion. That conversation of Krishna and Arjuna. I can never get past that conversation. Oh my God, what a conversation! Anyway, I'm not going to go there, but that is excitement for me. So we can hear that, and we do say this service, and then if we do that, I'm going to steal some Cormy lyrics, okay? We can say all the odds are in my favor. Something's bound to begin. It's gotta happen sometime. Maybe this time I'll win. So that's our heart. That's the humble heart that we have to have during this month of Kartik. Enjoy the pastimes of Krishna. Share your reflections with other devotees. That's all I have to say. If you like to share something, there's something you like to say, fine. But like I said, what do you think? Is there anything about these pastimes, about this particular time of year that you'd like to share, reflect upon, that will help us?
I have something about, it's not about pastimes, it's about your first sentence of introduction. And I'm so excited about it. It's a very info thing, but I just realized it's so deeply, so I'm so excited to share. You're saying that what is gathering and Krishna is in everybody's heart. And I was always thinking, why when devotees gathering, it's something special. Like it's not you're alone. When devotees getting together, when you're not alone, when it's many devotees around you, something special happens every day. I just realized right now, I have a little bit of Krishna in my heart. And what you have a little bit of Krishna in your heart, everybody together, it's just more Krishna.
Oh, it's so infectious. It's the unseen. It's so much going on. We're aware when Maya is pushing us around and dragging us, and we're doing so many crazy things, and there's so much lamentation, dissatisfaction. But when Krishna is moving us around, We have a constant prayer. O Radha, O Krishna, please use me. Please give me something to do. Please exploit me. So it happens. They're moving us. You, you, when you think of Shakyavesha, you think of the big one, the big devotees or the big empowerment. But we're being empowered from moment to moment, you know, and we want to be used by Krishna. So when there's a yearning, the subtlety is that we have a desire. I want to be better. I want to be Krishna's servant. I'm not worthy. That humility is pulling us, is really pulling us to the front. And so Krishna makes arrangements, all these external arrangements. You bump into the devotees. The spiritual master said this: Chaitya Guru is working externally with the spiritual master, internally, the Dhammi Buddhi Yogam Tum. You know, he's the intelligence of the intelligent man. He's trying to bring us closer. But when the devotees come together, it becomes infectious because the atmosphere is so charged with Krishna. When a mentally we're desiring, we're thinking about Krishna. Before we act, we're thinking about Krishna, what he did, what they're saying, and we're hearing and we're discussing. And that brings, we're in our right environment. So you're so right. It's so wonderful. And I thank you for reflecting. Krishna. You want to tell us?
I have a question for you. Not so move around too much. I don't have anywhere. I don't have any where I can stick a pin into called my space. I don't have. I don't carry books. I don't know how to. I'm an old guy. I don't know how to get online and pull up Krishna book. I would like to ask you, Damodar Leela, where does it fall in the sequence of Krishna in Vrindavan? When he starts with killing Putana and then Akatasura and then.
You said, where does it start?
No, where does it fall in that sequence?
Um, it's all in that section, but the killing of Putana and Agasar, all that is still all part of his lila.
Yeah.
That's all Damodar's lila. It's the earlier pastimes of Lord Krishna. Is it
I think it's
the eighth
chapter? Within the first 15, 8 maybe.
Yeah. I'm thinking which chapter, but I was thinking like that. Here, as Krishna goes, he tightens his belt. Here's the
chapter 9.
9. Huh? I thought 8. I thought something starts at 8. Anyway, but it's all there. Just read Bhagavatam. Nigama Kalpata Ro Gully Tum Palam Shuka Mukit Amrita Dravasam Yuktam P Bhatta Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Maharaho Rasikabu Vibhavaka. All the expert and learned men and women, they're relishing Srimad Bhagavatam. It's Dravasam Yuktam. It's semi-solid, very easily swallowable. Sounds like ice cream to me. Do relish it, you know. And Bhagavatam is relishable for everything, including the liberated souls. You know, when I was a young man, we used to come in the basement of the old Philadelphia temple, and the devotee named Dravida, he would give, we had just a few months, he said, okay, I'm going to teach you a verse today. And, you know, me and Krishna Creeper, we'd have to learn the verse. And he'd just start telling us word for word. And he's going back and forth. And we got to go back up and say, what's the verse? And I was thinking, he taught me that verse. I was thinking, there's a verse that Dravida taught me that I chanted so many times because it makes me think of Krishna. And you can think of him in Damodar. It says, Madaram, Madaram, Etan, Mangala, Mangala. No, that's the holy name. Madaram, Madaram, Vapa Ashavibu. Madaram, Madaram, Vadanam, Madaram. Madagandi, Madu, Sweetam, Etaraho. Madaram, 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 Madaram. Sweet, sweet is my dear Lord's form. Sweeter still, his face so fair. But his honey-scented, gentle smile is sweet beyond compare. So that's Krishna. Whether we see big Krishna, baby, Krishna is just sweet. And there's the sweetness of Krishna that comes out as our heart changes. But we're not, we love tasting it, but that's not even the goal. The goal is to serve and love Krishna. They're just loving Krishna, just serving Krishna. They're not interested in anything. The Vrajvasis, they're only interested in loving Krishna and serving Krishna. But the taste is good. The nectar for which we're always anxious. And the taking shelter of non-Prabhu and taking shelter of serving the devotees, it does that. But you were saying you didn't have a place, but we don't need anything. That's that's the blessings that have been placed upon you. The nice thing is that you're free. You're so free to go and come. You know, I just love the fact that I'm living like a king. I can sleep on the third floor. I can sleep on the second floor. I used to sleep even on the first floor. I just sleep on the floors in my building. And, you know, once I got a bed and my buddies were coming because I was getting arthritis, and then they would come over and they wanted to stay in the bed and stuff like that because I wasn't in it. I said, you know, this bed's not working for me. I stayed in a couple of nights and I put rug on the fourth floor. I threw the bed out. I threw the bed out. They stopped wanting to come over. Nobody wants to sleep on the floor. It's great. So you just have to understand, this is your benediction. Your benediction is that you're free to go. Your attachments, few. And you might find that you have a few more than you want. So just stay free. That's Krishna's blessing.
I was thinking too, that he was saying, where does it come in the sequence of his? I mean, there's sequence, but they're all eternal anyway. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I just read them, and I like hearing about Krishna. I like sharing with the devotees about Krishna.
The reason there is a sequence, yeah, is first of all Krishna's killing Putana, the Sura, Srinivasa, and
Yes.
then it comes to the of the universal form, and it comes to Mother Lila.
Sure, Mother Jashoda.
Previous acharyas have analyzed these things, given the understanding that these are obstacles, either obstacles
But
or.
you're answering your own question, then.
Yeah.
Then you know. You
Well,
answer.
well, I didn't know where exactly Damodar Lila fits in that sequence. Now I know. Get a better picture in my head.
It's good, but it is true because it's the different demons represent another notch of being taken out. But I'm not the person. You have to wait till Maharaj gets back.
Yeah.
I'm just a fig, man. I'm just, you know.
So you're filling in for him, right?
I'm just here by His grace at getting the association of the devotees, and all of us, we all like Krishna Katha. So that's why I always ask the devotees if there's something, some reflection as you're sharing, share it, because we become enlightened and enlivened by associating with one another and discussing topics about Krishna. Okay, you told me somebody's going to chant the Damodar prayers. Yes.
Chant for us.
Yeah, that's part of the program.